Born in Uptown originally, Fort Totten. Grew up with a little, not really knowing my roots for the most part. Till about 9, I ended up in North Carolina, where I lost contact with a lot of my family in the District of Columbia, and was living with my grandmother. Where I experienced a lot of, I guess you could say, abuse, mistreating, a lot of things that was foreign. I was brought up spoiled, and then I kind of got the country version of life, which kind of helped me. Met God, learned how to wash clothes, and just do a lot of domestic things that helped me later on in life. And I met my grandmother, where I met where I met religion, which has carried me this far, for the most part. And because of her teachings and a lot of things that she taught me as a youngin', has got me to my expertise to this day. Well, I don't know my real father. My adopted father, Calvin's partner, God rest his soul, currently just passed, a big influence on my life. Don't know how far I would have made it without him. He came and got me out of the system when I was, I'm going to say, 12. My adoption became final January 17th, 2003. I'll never forget it. My father was a great man, for the most part, to my standards. He raised 3 boys without any help, just the help of government and his government job. Never really seen my father sweat. Went to church every day. Same like it was on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But he was a blessing because he did what no other man did. When the whole world seen the worst of me, he was the only person I felt seen the best of me. And so that I just always make a promise that his legacy is always going to live through me. You know, I miss him dearly. You know, but through those church teachings, and it's the love that he didn't show, but I found later on in life that was the anchor to, you know what I'm saying, just to keep me on this earth, to be honest. Like focused and just level-headed. You know what I'm saying? He gave me what you call it, faith. You know what I'm saying? Faith, love, with an open heart. You know, he never did a lot of talking, he did a lot of showing. You know, like I was 13 and learned how to cook. A lot of people don't know that. Not too many guys growing up learn how to cook. But my father made sure, you know, I learned how to cook. You know, he didn't teach me how to do mechanics and stuff like that. But he gave me the word of God, he taught me how to cook. And he gave me something that nobody else can give me. And that's a family, and that's a last name, and that's a fresh start. So I'm just forever grateful with him. My mother, depending on which one I grew up, my mother's name was Joyce. She kind of faded away as I got adopted. I didn't meet her later on until like 2008. She had found me in high school. Came to see me. It's kind of like vague after that. Still talk to her to this day. It's kind of rocky. I have a love for her, but I don't really know why. It kind of burdens my heart because it's like, I feel like it should be the same. You know, like how can you have somebody and then not really care about them, especially being I'm the middle child, you know. But we talk. I called her on holidays and stuff like that, you know. I extend my hand. She really doesn't do it, but it's more so for me than her, you know. I said I met her when I graduated, and I graduated in 2008 in June. She actually came to my graduation. And it was weird because like when I graduated elementary school, I like cried like bad because she wasn't there. I like ran out in the ceremony. Then so it was like when the actual graduation actually happened for me to actually graduate, it was like what I thought didn't happen in elementary school would never happen. It actually happened in 2008. So it was kind of like a blessing and like a real emotional moment for me. I met all my sisters. I got 2 sisters and 2 brothers. I have a brother that's uptown. He has his own family, and I have a brother that's in Canada. I don't know if he's going to be able to come back. I met him a couple times. It's my boy. It's actually the person my mother's married to. The Jamaican, that's actually his son. So it's kind of like they got a kid together. But it's like I never really get to hang with him like that. It's like my only little brother. Like, I got more of a relationship with my little brother and my little sister than I had with anybody. But it's like my little sister's in North Carolina, and my little brother's in Toronto. And, you know, I'm famous. I can't really go up there and see him, which I wish I would have known. I probably would have caught it. But it's all good, though. Well, okay, I do remember. Prior to that, I think I was still doing, like, research and stuff like that and trying to reach out and stuff like that. And I had been to meeting them. Like, they came to the house. Because, like, before I graduated, I was homeless for, like, 6 months. Me and my father had like differences, and he pretty much left me where I was at. So I had to graduate on my own, and like I was homeless before I was even 17. Like before I walked across the stage, I was already homeless. Well, me and my father, well, the rest of my brothers, they stayed in the house till they was 21. And I don't know if people know this, but when you're adopted, yeah, you still get help. So you get checks until you're 21. So he took my check and went off on me because me and my father was a Gemini, I was a Cancer. So we kind of like bump heads, and I kind of knew what he was doing. So I never would just sit back in the cut and just allow him to do it. I would always speak up on it. But I never like got physical with my father. Like we never fought or nothing like that. But you're not gonna disrespect me. Like I was very smart. So like you're not gonna tell me something when I know this is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I will definitely challenge you. And that's the thing that me and my father kind of went through. Like I would always challenge him on factual points, and it became like a disagreement or stuff like that. So when I graduated, I would always be confrontation with him and always challenge him. Like, you know what I'm saying, just verbally. You know what I'm saying? I never put my hands on my father. I rarely even got beat with my father. You know what I'm saying? I can't even recall when he really put his hands on me, to be honest. So it never was like I got abused by him or anything like that. It's just, I honestly think he was just tired. You know what I'm saying? I was the last of 3 boys, the youngest, and I guess by me being a smart, you know what I'm saying, the A word, I guess he was like, well, you want to be such a smart A, we're going to make you live up to that. Which was wrong, because he ended up moving in a mansion and stuff like that. Kind of put me on a whole loop. Even to this day, I battled with it. Like, how could you just leave somebody that graduated on time when nobody else did, you know what I'm saying, wanted to play sports, like, going to college and all that. Like, I graduated with a 2.5 and still didn't want to get emancipated, none of that. I didn't know about none of that, you know what I'm saying? I knew it was just, oh, this is how I was going to go, and maybe about 21 he'll give me my check or I'll be here or something like that, but it was never none of that. So it was like once I graduated, we parted ways. I was renting a room from somebody, but he was paying it through my check. So I ended up actually having to like lose all of my clothes, like stacks of clothes I had built up as a youngin' and all of that, a bed and all that, because I ended up owing the guy rent. And then of course after the time, like I graduated in June, I turned 18 in July. So it was like, well, what you gonna do? I didn't know how to pay $800 for a room, you know what I'm saying? I'm still young. I'm still, like, I'm not ready to give you $800 of my money. I'm not ready for that. I'm only 17. So the locks got changed and I ended up losing everything, and that became the rent. Like, you know, you kind of like leave stuff in stores and they kind of selling and stuff like that. That's kind of what happened. I had friends, but it's like everybody went in the house. I was living in Waldorf, actually. So I don't know if people really know. It's like not really like DC, you know what I'm saying? Very spacious, big houses, bougie people, rich people. Not really a place for the poor. So I wasn't really that popular, you know what I'm saying, or that cool just to be going to people's houses. So I ended up sleeping in the laundry room for the first night. I think it was, I want to say, I think it was Harley Station or something like that. I never riding the van go down there or something like that. Cried, smoked a lot. Kind of figure out pretty much what I did wrong. I was always like aggressive and stuff, but I never really did nothing to like watch my brothers curry and have girlfriends in the house. I never did none of that. So it was like, it was weird. And it left me in a very, very, like, to this day, like a down depression state. Because I was like, am I just not good enough? You know what I'm saying? Or just maybe just make me feel empty. Empty as possible. It's like, I did nothing to deserve this. You know what I'm saying? I know I still have money. You know what I'm saying? So to know somebody's still getting paid for you and you're homeless and you're coming from the system, it's like, but I never took the legal system or nothing like that. But it was cold, and through the days, I mean, I slept with friends and then over their houses and stuff, and then the rest of it, I just ended up leaving Waldorf. Like, I just couldn't do it. I had to make my own way. I'm naturally from DC, so I had to find a way to get back to the metro. So that progressed today, like probably staying on the train or, you know what I'm saying, or being in stations, and it's just kind of different in DC, you know. So I was going to be okay, you know what I'm saying, because I had like some friends, but it's like sometimes it's just the give and take of the day, like, well, where you going to go tonight, you know what I'm saying, the suspense, the constant throughout your day, like, all right, well, I know I'm okay tonight, but what about the next night, or the next night, or the next night? So it just becomes very, very, like, mind-boggling. Because it's like, you know you're a good person, you didn't expect this, and you're still young. You know what I'm saying? So.
Boom. So, after that, after you left Waldorf, where did the adventure take you?
Wow, this start.
up living with this kind of weird old little high school friend that was just, I don't know. I had a friend came to get me, and I was actually living in like a little abandoned house. It wasn't no water. It was electric, but it wasn't no water. So it was weird. Like, man, I have to use the bathroom outside. Like, I've never been through it. Like, it's been real. That's why I don't really judge nobody. But when I left Waldorf, it was a little female friend I dealt with in high school. And I was surprised because she didn't have it all together, but her heart was great. Even came out there with a new child. So I was kind of like, you must really love me or really had a thing for me to come get me. And I moved to Temple Hills. That's when I guess I became what they call it today, the side guy. Or, you know what I'm saying, just trying to play daddy or whatever the case may be. It was cool for a while though. Because, I mean, it gave me a different surrounding, closer to being home. I was in Temple Hills. I thought I was actually being a good little father figure. You know what I'm saying? I had everything going, rolling. Of course, that was not the case. Because it became the first time I experienced depression, like one of the worst examples. I think it's when I had to go to court. I was in foster care, and my mother was supposed to come get me. And I probably never felt this alone a day or unwanted this much in my life. I don't think I was ever that low. So my mother was supposed to come get me. I was in North Carolina, of course, in foster care, and it was either you become a ward of the state or your mother comes to get you. Of course, mine didn't. And I never felt so let down. I mean, I stared at that door. They had to pry me out of that chair. I stared at that door that long. Just hoping and wishing that my mother was coming. And it was almost just as bad like when the judge gives you 10 years. Like, and getting sentenced. It's just like you just know like you'll never be the same again. And for that person to grow up, like raise you for 9 years, and then you really find out that it'd be a lie. And then you just seeing people in suits for the rest of your life. You just in institutes, and then you're getting treated like you're in jail. Knowing that you come from a great lifestyle, and then knowing that there was once a whole 5 people that loved you. And now it's just in all reality, and you just, probably like 10 years old, just sitting there looking at it knowing like, well, I'll never get that again. It's like you first starting out with filet mignon, now you gotta eat spam. Like, how do you go from that in life? You know what I'm saying? You go from like being the most popular, most loved person. I got abused. That's how I originally got in foster care. I was living with my grandmother and my uncle. And to this day, I'm partially like messed up in this ear. Like, I gotta speak loud if I'm loud, like stuff like that. I can't really hear. Got a bad little report card, just to give you a little synopsis of what happened. I got a bad little report card for the most part. I was always had ADHD, so I had a behavior chart. If I didn't get 3s or better, I got my behind whooped, basically. So this particular day, I got 3s and came home in the middle of me eating dinner. My uncle, who was probably, I want to say about 6'3", at least 250, he was a defensive lineman for the Rams, like back in the day. Yeah, really winning all that. So I guess me being bad was stressing his mom out, and he had enough of it. So that was the day that he was walking out the door, and he smacked the mess out of me. And I fell out of the chair, and I was unconscious for like 20 minutes. So when that happened and I woke up, I was forced to eat my dinner, pick it up off the floor. Scared for my life after that. Didn't really want to be in that household after that. So other things prior to that, but that was the thing. And then it's like I heard a beat. Like, it was just it. I knew this man was like 10 times bigger than me, and I shouldn't have to go through that. I'm still this size to this day, so just imagine what I was then. So eventually, I went back to school, you know what I'm saying? Did better that day, you know what I'm saying? Teacher even put that, so he gave me like a 4. He didn't want to hear that. So I ended up like not even going home because I knew I wasn't allowed to have that. So I went back into school, and then that's when I showed him the marks of what I was going through. Me not knowing, you know what I'm saying? I'm only 9, I'm not knowing anything. I'm coming from DC to North Carolina, I'm coming from the fast life to the country life. You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference. I ain't taking no trash out of here. Take your butt outside. Now it's get your butt in here and read a book, stuff like that. So it's a big dramatic change. From no whoopings to ass whoopings.
Mm-hmm.
So next day they come to the house. Yeah, and I think people know the story. Well, what happened? They interviewing my grandmother, interviewing my uncle. Then when they leave, everybody just giving me this look of death now. I'm not knowing no better. I already know y'all not my real family. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I know my mother's in jail. You know what I'm saying? I know that's not my real mother in jail. I know you're not my real grandmother. I know you're not my real uncle. So now I'm just sitting down here because she's locked up. Nobody's going to tell me. I done called and cursed her out. So now y'all think y'all just about to beat on this little light-skinned dude from D.C. Now that's not about to happen. So at 9 years old, I found out that my grandmother was not my grandmother. My mother was not my mother. Ashley was not my sister. Jermaine was not my brother. None of these people that I thought was any of my family, my real mother. I should have known I was the most light-skinned out of all of them. All of them were dark-skinned. All of them had a Jamaican father but me. Yeah, kind of weird. So everybody else this color, you the only one this color.
Why your mother give you away?
To this day, she won't answer. It's not really I have this love-hate for my mom. I'm a Christian, I have to love her. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I love her because I guess eventually I'll get the answers. But I really sat down with my mother and actually she just really doesn't care. And won't address it or anything. Like my mother has more of a bond with her grandchildren and nieces and nephews. Even my little sister, they come from North Carolina, they come up and they're the bestest friends. And I asked my mother, I'm like, did my father do something to you? Like, do I look like him? Like my whole family looks at me like that. Like I'm an outcast in my family. Like I had to steal this from my nephew just to get a piece of him. But y'all wanted me to confront the dude that gave him pills though. They didn't have him OD, but it's like y'all want me to be this big guard dog. You get what I'm saying? Only when it's allowed though. But none of y'all know nothing about me, nothing that I've been through. Nobody can tell me my uncle, none of that other shit. Nobody knows my father, nobody knows anything. So it's like, it's fucked up, like just living as an outcast, knowing like, I ain't no big strong dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't look crazy or nothing like that. I graduated, I keep a job, I never sold drugs in my life. You know what I'm saying? Never killed nobody. Never did no long bid, nothing like that.
Why was she in jail?
To be honest, my mother never really told me. My mother was in the streets. My mother had a very, very bad addiction to heroin. And my mother sold her body, for the most part. To my knowledge. I've never really sat down with my mom and actually just talked to her. I can talk, but she won't talk. But when the next sibling or the next niece or nephew or grandchild come in, it's just like, oh yeah. My mother even tatted on me and all that. And to this day, I ask her, like, did I do anything? Like, I could pop up to the house, but it's never that same welcome. It's just sad knowing that your mother's still living and you done held her home at the graveyard. But you don't know, like, if anything ever happened to you, would she ever even know where you going to be at in that graveyard? You get what I'm saying? Man, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I just want people to know, like, if you have your mother, you know what I'm saying? Anybody close to you, you know what I'm saying? Like, make that shit better. Because mine is up there right now, and I can't even go sit there and tell her nothing that I'm telling nobody on this camera. And won't even get a tear or response from her. Like, if my shit don't make the news, my mother will never know nothing happened to me. And that's the coldest thing ever. So you got to deal with that, and then the dad that just left her, you couldn't even tell him thank you. So it just through it all, I know it's kind of off. That's why I feel like I be strong by myself, you know what I'm saying? Where I just continue just to fight for myself, you know what I'm saying? And I probably go through it. Because it's like, even if these lights go out, if don't nobody know, who are you? Who really gonna miss you, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I just cut myself off from people, nobody already know.
Well, who are you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I open that question up. I mean,
other people know who you are, what you like to do, your hobbies, if you want to play basketball, football.
Teako, I want to be a producer.
Produce what?
Just music, beats, anything, for the most part. I want to be like Swiss Beats for the most part, if that makes sense. Still looking for my Alicia Keys, but we gonna get there. You know what I'm saying, in due time. But no, I got a real passion for music and sports, though. That's my thing. put my little mixtape out with my friends. I miss when we going through some things. We gonna fix it though. I just kind of want them to understand I'm a little older. You know what I'm saying? So my love, my passion for them and my music is kind of different than anybody here ever see. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, call me in the morning, make sure you good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just certain things I just feel it though in the friendship you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the type of friend I am. You know what I'm saying? I take the risk for you. I really don't care. It could be 100% wrong. And I'll be prayed up knowing that we good. You know what I'm saying? But that's just who I am. I never really cared. Just don't forget about me. You know what I'm saying? Don't disrespect me. I won't disrespect you. I'll do anything for you. Like, and that's just me. Like, I think a lot of times my heart gets me in a lot of things. I love people. I hate to see people hurting, poor, hungry, anything. That's not me. I'm a Christian based man, God fearing man. You know, I'm Calvin's son. That's all I'm gonna ever be. That's it. You know what I'm saying? A faith filled man. I probably shared a lot, and I pray that anybody I've ever talked to or had an encounter with, that they know that I was a representation of God. And it may not have been the regular, like, traditional way. But if you seen Teako smile and you seen Teako smoking and dancing this damn third, just know he always prayed for you. And just know that God put him in there for your life for a reason. You know what I'm saying? That's just all I want for people to know, just in my life and anything. Like, I never had no book to do this, you know what I'm saying? Anything. But anything I genuinely shared with you, my friends, anybody, I did it because of God. I did it because that's how I was taught. I did it because it's just genuine love. I never wanted nothing back, anything. And that's my legacy. And that's being a legend. You know what I'm saying? Just unconditional love, faith love, with an open heart. That's going to get you through heaven, any battle, anything you're going through. And I know it's in me. I might not apply it a lot, but sometimes that's what a vessel of God is, though. You know, sometimes you got to put it out there, but you can't expect not to have no attacks on you either, though. So even through my dark times, I go through a lot of attacks. But I know that I care about a lot of people, and I really care about this world. So at the end of the day, just know, like, Teako might be upset with you, and Teako might be a little happy or a little hyper or whatever, you know, T-hype, whatever you want to know. But I'm myself, I'm original, and I'm a God-fearing person, and I love everybody, any dimension or whatever. You know, if I'm around you, I'm here to teach you, pray for you, love you, and to show you that it's okay to be you.